everybody. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Will.
And this is So I'm Watching Andor, Season 2, Episode 9, Welcome to the Rebellion.
I was right.
What?
All kinds of Mon Mothma in this episode.
Yes. Yeah. I saw a hilarious thing on Tumblr, and it said we were robbed of footage of Perrin at home watching Fox News as his wife becomes an enemy of the state and leaves him. And I was like, we did miss out on that.
We did miss out on that.
That would have been very, very funny.
I think even though like Perrin and Mon were
arranged,
at odds is not the right word, but they didn't like gel. I think he knows her enough to know that she's probably in the right in what she's doing.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't know like the details.
Sure.
Like if they were painting stuff, he might be like, oh, maybe the Empire's bad. The same way that like Cyril like
figured it out. Yeah. Like, oh, sure. Like he's known Mon long enough that I think you're right. Like he would be like, oh, maybe I should investigate my feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because I never got the idea that like Perrin was like a bad guy.
Sure.
Just kind of like a product of his environment more than Mon was.
Yeah, they're just like from a rich well-to-do planet. And
exactly.
He's like, let's be rich, well-to-do people in the Senate.
He's happy with his comforts and stuff and doesn't really feel the need to push back.
For sure. Okay, so basically the main thrust of this episode is that Mon Mothma is making a speech to the Senate about how shit-ass the fucking Emperor is and how bad this Gorman thing was, and that like everyone's being lied to, and like a bunch of every other senator that we saw make a speech was like,
these imperial martyrs are still being listed. These Gorman vigilante or savages or whatever.
Yeah, so it was like a lot of
standard language,
a lot of rhetoric.
Yeah. I forgot to mention in the last episode, it did come up that like the Imperial news was like, but like it was like literally word for word, like Partagaz said something to Dedra, and then those were exact words came out of the mouth of one of the other news guys.
So it's like absolutely 100% propaganda.
Yeah,
the Fox News comparison on Tumblr was apt.
Yeah.
So that is like the main thing. There's like a bunch of other small stuff that happens. Basically, they find out that her office is bugged.
Yep.
She's planning on this speech. Bail is like, I can't do anything yet, but you still have to.
Mm-hmm.
And like, pushing her to do this, even though it seems like he's bitching out. I don't think he actually is, but it's like, no. I need to stay hidden for now.
There still needs to be someone here
involved.
And later on down the line, she is like, psyching herself up outside of her little boat.
Mm-hmm.
And Bail comes and finds her and is like, you don't have to do this. And she says, if you're brave enough to stay, I should be brave enough to go.
Yeah.
Like she recognized like that it's still going to be work for him to be.
She might be my favorite Star Wars character ever.
Oh, that's easy for you. I would
but
call
like
that easily.
I never really like, it's only been because of Andor and Rogue One.
Sure.
Like it's never.
She is in them, but she doesn't have a lot of lines or anything. She's just kind of like around. They've like really built out the lore.
So good. Yeah. So that's basically it. So because there was a listening device and what's his name? Erskine. Her assistant hasn't finished sweeping the office. She goes outside to practice her speech, where Luthen comes up and is like, Bail Organa's team that you're supposed to leave with tomorrow is compromised. You absolutely cannot go with them. You have to go with my guy. He's going to tell you, I have friends everywhere. Please listen. And she's like, I don't trust you at all. He also tells her that Erskine was a plant and has been there for like 2 years. And so she's like, I don't, like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
And so she goes back up. She immediately dismisses Erskine, even though the whole office is clear. Obviously...
it was really a harsh, like, response to that based on... Like, because she probably doesn't
know. Especially because I knew it wasn't going to last. And by the time we're in the final scenes of this episode, they're in the same place again together and fine.
Okay, yeah. But, she probably doesn't know, like, the many ways that, like, he manipulated things so that stuff didn't fall back on Mon.
Yeah, right.
So,
exactly.
like, it was like a fast emotional response, which, is fine. And they did rectify it by the end of the episode.
Right. So she then is... Because he's been dismissed, he cannot like 100% tell Clea and Luthen that she's definitely going to make her speech or not, because he's like, she fired me. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So that's all happening. Cassian is supposed to be the one that's going to come to take her. He's entering as the same journalist that he was on Gorman into the Senate so that he can like be there for like the news. This guy Pono is his name, the like organizer of the
guy who was like running the press room.
Yeah, I also absolutely loved that like a tiny little piece of bureaucracy bullshit is what enabled the feed of her speaking
to keep
going.
Well, it was a little tiny bit of bureaucracy, but also the two, like it was one kind of...
Yeah, it was a guy and a girl, yeah.
Well, one was like a droidish kind of thing.
Oh, was it?
It had stuff going on. They kind of gave each other like a knowing look after he ran off. Like they knew that was an issue.
Okay.
But they, strategically solved it now.
So there was like a door that hadn't been locked all year, and they were like, "Yeah, we fixed it."
Yeah.
And it was where
it's supposed to be locked.
Where the like comms like lever.
Yeah,
was,
it's like a
basically.
Power room essentially. It seemed.
There is also, there's like a lot of kind of interesting stuff where it's like in the what is the guy's name? The supervisor Legret.
He's the one that was in the control room.
Yeah, and he basically is running the whole thing. He's got a couple people under him who are like, hey, the like listening device in Mon Mothma's thing is acting weird, and also her driver says she hasn't left all night, which is odd.
Yeah.
Just so something going on.
These two things together we felt warranted giving you a buzz.
And so it's actually like pretty good. And also it is basically a heist episode that goes off basically without a hitch.
Yeah.
It's really great. So
well, not without a hitch.
With few hitches.
Well, the one gal that was on Bale's team that was a plant, she steps in, like she makes her speech, she gets out, or I say she, Mon Mothma makes her speech, she gets out, Andor's there, she doesn't quite realize who he is at the time. He hits her with, I have friends everywhere. And basically in their one elevator ride, he's like, I was in Aldhani, I did this, that, and the other thing,
and he said I was just in Gorman yesterday.
Yeah, he was like, I'm the guy you're looking for.
Yeah. Also, that was actually really fascinating to me is that this episode took place one day. It's been only one, like the Gorman massacre happened yesterday.
Someone said yesterday when
they said yesterday a lot.
Yeah.
And so that's really, I love that like in this immediate aftermath, she was like, we didn't take any time to like think about it and weigh the sides. It was like immediately. And I really like that.
Yeah. Which means that I was wrong about Edie, probably.
Oh,
like when they cut to Edie in the last episode, that was probably like in the moment, but it just did not. The news report that they were watching seemed like things were calming
It was
down.
after. Yeah. I understood what you meant when you explained it.
Yeah.
So this woman, Beska, she's killed one of the other ones.
Yeah.
And then she plays it off to Selko that she thought he was with you, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. So as Cassian and Mon Mothma are running away, she stops her and tries to arrest her, which again, it was like you were right. It wasn't supposed to be so out in the open. They were supposed to like very quietly take her like in the transport.
Yep.
And so Cassian basically is just like blammo.
Well, it's a
little standoff for a minute.
She pulls a gun and announces aggressively that this is an ISB arrest. And then Erskine is like, she's a rebel spy. Yeah. And then Cassian shoots her. So like he said the right thing in the space.
Yeah.
And then Cassian is like, what do you got, nerd, to the other guy? And he was like, I have nothing to do with her.
Absolutely nothing. Please
he's like, I'm an escort. But then they flit off, and on their way, they find their way outside, and she sees Cloris coming, who's been paying attention on the comms, and he goes up there to try to find out what's going on because there's people flooding out, and he's like, what is his name? And she says Cloris, and he's like, Cloris, I found her, I got her, and then he blasts him.
And her face too.
Yeah, she was really like
really shocked.
It was very like. Maybe the first like real like violent moment that she will have experienced for the rebellion.
That's also why. The other woman too. So it was like a 1-2 punch. Beska, he shot her right in front of her.
Yeah, but she was pointing a gun at them.
Well, sure. Yeah.
So
this was sort of like unprompted violence, you mean?
Not necessarily unprompted, because there's like we know by now that Cassian will like shoot his way out of a situation for sure.
Well, but also Cloris would have taken her. Because he's an agent too.
he's a plant, and I would assume that he got that detail because he's like not great.
Yeah.
Because he's just been like reporting back to them. Yeah. I don't know that he would like it in this situation. I don't think he would have been as useful as like taking her. I don't think
that's maybe true.
Yeah, I think she would have resisted arrest, and he would have like tipped over, and she would have ran away.
Yeah, well, he would have tipped over. Yeah, so they get away, and basically the next we see is they have landed on. They find Willman. They go to the safe house first.
Yeah. Willman and Drina are both there, and Will's
crazy.
Yeah. Will is hurt.
He's got a broken leg.
I think they've drugged him for pain because like when they do finally get all back to Yavin, someone is like, "Is it bad?" And I think the captain or the whoever is running, the guy that was like, "You shouldn't be leaving." Mm-hmm. He was like, "Is it bad?" And he was like, "No, just go take care of him."
Yeah, it's like he's young and it's a clean break.
Yeah,
basically. Oh, they also arrested Senator Oren at the beginning.
Oh yeah, that was kind of a big deal. That Oren is the senator from Gorman.
I really like actually that conversation with Mon and Bale. I really liked a lot because she really was like, if this is not our limit,
what is?
Then there's no limit. Yeah. Like this has to be where someone takes a stand. Mm-hmm. That part was really great.
Yeah.
And so then so they're in the safe house for a little while. Even though Cassian claims to hate Luthen, he like kind of emotionally asks Clea if he's okay, and she's like, he's safe, don't worry about it. That was all great. Mon is like, you know your way around this place, and he's like, yeah, I lived here before. And they have like a little, she says thank you.
Yeah.
And so then they get to Yavin. He basically immediately goes home to Bix and is like, that's it, we're good.
Yeah.
Happily ever after.
I'm never gonna do this again.
Never again. It could just be you and me. We'll leave here and go somewhere peaceful and be like happy and protected and blah blah blah. And I'm like,
and she drugs him with the tea.
You know what? I wish she had one more time, like, please drink your tea. But she was kind of like,
she said it enough times for me that I was like,
tea. Yeah.
Also, like her reaction when he was saying all that stuff, I was like, she's either going to be sent somewhere and wants to be sent somewhere, or she's going to run away.
Yeah,
or both, or he's going to wake up and she's going to be hanging from a tree.
No, Jesus,
that would have been one step too dark again.
Way too dark. No, but I don't know if she like already had a mission when she was making that recording.
No, I think she just
left to go be useful.
I think she divorced herself from the situation.
So yeah,
I think she's probably more likely back on Ferrix than anything.
Boo.
I would guess that the Empire still has like people on Ferrix.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back.
She probably wouldn't go back there, but that kind of thing. I think she's just going to go try to like live her life somewhere for like a handful of years and just, I don't think she's.
It made it seem like she was going to do. She was like, I'm choosing the rebellion for both of us.
She's choosing the rebellion because she was a distraction for Andor, and he's too valuable for the rebellion.
I really heard it as like she was going to do something.
That's not how I took it at all. I was listening for that, and that's not how I took it.
Well, then that doesn't just because she thinks Andor needs to be in the rebellion.
Yes,
I hate that.
She was like, "You can't leave. Like you're."
Yeah, I hate that. I want her to be doing something.
Well, I do too, but she's not going to be doing it for the rebellion. I don't think. I think we're done with Bix. Like, I think that she took what the Force healer said to heart and was like, he needs to be here. Like, this is his calling. And she saw herself as a roadblock to that.
Let's see. So I'm choosing for both of us. I'm choosing the rebellion. And when it's done, when it's over and we've won, we can do all the things we ever want. I guess. I hate that more than anything that's happened so far. I don't know.
If you don't know, then why do you hate it more than anything that's happened? More than genocide?
Okay. No, I just like that. At least that like had a narrative purpose. Her just fucking off to go live her life alone, doing nothing productive, bothers me.
Well, we don't know what she's doing. She could be, maybe she will find like a smaller rebellion somewhere else that she can help with. But like she knows that like this is the spot, like this is the core.
Yeah.
And Andor needs to be here. He's like too valuable, too influential, and like too good.
Yeah, to me, I think that was like too much of a gambit that he wouldn't leave to find her.
Well, he had to make a choice, and he made his choice, and she was compelling enough in her speech that it was basically like, don't come find me.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do this.
Yeah. So then he gets basically called because they're going to wake up the droid.
Yep.
And they do, and it's very violent for a minute. And then it turns out the reprogramming worked, and he's like, can you please point your gun somewhere else?
Yep.
And that's it.
And that is it.
Yeah.
And now I don't know what the next 3 episodes are going to look like.
Same.
Like, I know that we know the outcome of the next. We know that there's a functioning Death Star between where we are now and A New Hope. We see them use it in A New Hope, and we see them use it in Rogue One. Yeah. So it has to come online sometime between now and then. So
we'll see.
We will see it. So maybe this will be
they certainly have to be already building it.
Oh yeah.
If they were like, it has to be most of the way there. If they were only like trying to get the calcite for the lenses.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. I'm excited for these last 3, and then we're definitely going to watch Rogue One.
Me too. I love it. We were saying a second ago that this is probably, like, as a set, the best 3.
The best 3 for sure.
I've really loved all of them. There's been like a couple of moments where I've been like, but for the most part, they've like all been really good episodes. These 3 were like exceptionally good.
Yeah.
Like, these are probably the best 3 of the whole
They
series.
are very highly rated.
Yeah.
But this one and the last one both had 9.8s on IMDb.
Yeah.
So
good.
Let's see.
Oh, I loved. This is like such a small, like, just filmmaking thing. When the guy does finally get to pull the power, it like comes down, and like in that moment, the like, let's get the fuck out of here soundtrack started playing.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah. It was like right there.
Run.
Yeah. It started like that very like, it reminds me of Tenet. Like, the music in Tenet is so like propulsive and very time oriented. All of like Nolan's movies have like that, but like Ludwig Göransson's like for Tenet it's because it's really so focused on time, that movie. Yeah. But and there's a lot of escaping in that movie, a lot of like moving at pace. So it just reminded me of that, and it was awesome. I love it.
Great. All right. Well, we will be back next week for the last 3. Like and subscribe, and let us know what you think. Bye.
Bye.